Hello, so I am doing a book review on The Slob, or The Son of the Slob. So this one was by Aaron Bugard. This one is a horror splatter punk. It is supposed to be written, disgusting, yucky, all that good stuff, okay? So this one was actually a 220 page book. It was really easy to read. It was so it's the second part of book one. Remember the slob? And she went to the house to go sell vacuums, and he took her inside and beat the crap out of her stomach, blah, blah, blah. Killed the baby, and she almost died in there, but she did get away, got away from him. But in the meantime, 10 years later, and she has his baby instead of her own. So that's where this one comes in. She's got his baby, and her husband is still in the wheelchair because he's a military guy and he's in a wheelchair. So he's just not getting along with this boy. The boy, what was his name? Harold. So he's just not getting along with the boy. He just keeps seeing like the dad getting his wife pregnant, and now this baby, this 10-year-old, is something that's out of like a disgusting house, and like the dad was such a bad guy, and like that's all he could see when he looks at this kid. I know it's not the kid's fault, and she decided to keep the kid because she doesn't believe in just getting rid of it, and she did lose her baby while she was in there. So anyway, she is a survivor. So Vera, that's her name anyway. So she is cleaning hotels, motels, but then there is a crime scene that happens, and somebody is dead in there. So the boss says to her, "You're gonna clean it," and she's like, no, I'm not." And he's like, "If you want your job, you gotta clean it, and I got you the perfect thing." So he goes and gets her this perfect thing. You know what it is? It is the exact same vacuum that she was selling 10 years ago, the one that got her into all this mess to start with. So he pulls it out, and she's starting to have flashbacks, and she's like, "Oh my gosh." So anyway, cops do the investigation. They're searching the house, blah, blah, blah. So she's allowed to go in there now and go clean it. So she goes in there, and then she meets this girl, and she's like, "Hey, I just left something in there. Could I go get it?" So she unscrews the vent, grabs a big ass, big, sorry, I don't know if I can swear on here. So she grabs a big thing of drugs, and she's like, "This is mine. It's going to get me off the street. Like, I'm going to be a better person, blah, blah, blah." So Vera was like, "Oh, I understand her situation. Like, I believe that she needs a second chance, blah, blah, blah." So this girl goes away, and Vera goes back home, and her husband is gone. He went to his military friend's house to try to get himself like reconnected or redone up in the head. He needs some alone time, okay? He needs like one of those time away from home, okay? So anyway, so now she is stuck with the kid all by herself. So she is forced to go and take him to work with her. And she puts him in this room that the crime scene was in, because it's the farthest one from the vehicle and from the front office, so that the boss does not see. But in the meantime, that girl that we were talking about, that she had all those drugs, she went to go and sell those drugs. And you know what happened? Those drugs happened to be the guys that she's selling it to. So she goes in there, tries to sell him these drugs, and he's like, "You know what? Those are mine. You're trying to sell me my own drugs." So anyway, he does some crazy stuff. He grabs blood and shoots somebody else up, and he gets a needle and right in her eye, and she's like, "Now I got like AIDS and that, now I'm gonna die." And like, "Don't do that by the eyes, I don't want to hear it." But anyway, so she's like, "My life is not going to be good. Like, I don't know if I can make it." So what happens to this girl that was trying to sell the drugs? And she was trying to sneak in through windows. Does she happen to sneak into the same window in the same like room that the boy is in, like in the crime scene room? Does she go back there Does Vera get back with her husband? What happens to this boy? Because he was eating like rats and mice and taking apart things. And the nuns at the school, you know what they were doing? Those nuns were bad. She's like, I'm going to have all these like special needs and that. She would take them down to the basement so that they could learn. And it was like Catholic school, of course, with nuns, you know. So she would take them downstairs, but they're all special needs. So she was like, hey, you little girl. And she would get the little girl come over to this little boy, and she was like, undo his pants. And she's like, I think he made a duty. And the teacher, the nun, was like, take off his diaper. So she took it off, and they're like, his poop is like dehydrated, like chunks. So it must have sat in there for a while. So they describe things in this book so good that you could literally smell and picture what it looked like, and like, the pictures in my head from this book. So dehydrated poop. And then the teacher's like, I'm gonna teach you guys how to count. Put his junk up on the desk. So the little girl picks up his stuff and puts it on the desk, and the teacher, or the nun, drops books, and 1, 2. So I guess the class is learning how to count real fast, because if not for you, go get another one. So I don't want to learn how to count like that. But like, this little boy was going through hell, and he was special needs kind of because his dad, and like, he wasn't the same as regular kids. You could already tell that, right? So, oh my gosh, though, the way that they wrote this book, you could tell what is happening, you could smell it, you could see it. It was very well written, but it was good. I liked it. It was made to be this way, that you could see and hear, and like, it is made and written to be disgusting. So don't go ahead crying that, oh, this book is so gross and disgusting, I don't know why anybody would read it. It's made like that. So if you do not like to be reading about blood and guts and little kid, what he had done to different things, like, if you don't want to read about that, don't read this book, because you will not like it. It will give you nightmares. But to me, this was good. Find out what happens to Vera and Daniel and Harold. What happens to the girl that was trying to sell the drugs? Go read it. Find out. And that stupid motel should be shut down. Ugh. Anyway, it was good. Did I tell you what I rated it? I don't think so. So I gave this one a 4 out of 5 because of how well it was written. It was written so good and descriptive, and like, it was like I was watching a movie right in front of me. So good. Hello, I am doing another ARC book. This one is called The Harbor. It is by Terry Joe. And this one I gave it a 3 out of 5. And the main character is Izzy. Now, this one is kind of a little sad, kind of romantic, all at once. Izzy is very down on her luck. She is at the point that she's got no job, she's sleeping in her car, she doesn't have nothing, she's living very bad. She decides, hey, let me give it a chance. I don't have nothing, I'm not gonna lose anything, so let me risk everything basically and move to this little town, kind of just to get away, hide out, and stay low, right? So she ends up taking a risk, hides out in a smaller town. The town is called Fish Creek. Now she gets a house, she gets a roof over her head, and she's just trying to lay low, survive. And then somebody is in her life, he comes across her path, and he tries to figure out, like, why are you in my town? What are you doing here? And he's a big guy, like well-known kind of guy. I don't want to tell you too much because then you figure it out. But he's very well known in this town. He's kind of like a big boss. And he wants to figure out why she's actually there and what is she running from. So does he uncover some bad things? Does he uncover some good things? Like what actually that close it up. Ooh. But yeah, he tries to uncover some stuff and it gets really, really good from there. So yeah, I gave it a 3 out of 5. Go ahead, read it, see what he uncovers for her, and you will like it. This one was an ARC one, so it was given to me to review, and there is my review for you. Hello. So don't mind me, just got out the shower. So guess what, today we are doing the book review. It is a ARC, and it is a Sleep Sweet, and it was actually a military romance. So this one is by Erica Easton, and do I see start? Oh, hearts keep flying. So it is by Erica Easton. I gave it a 4 out of 5, and the main characters are Elle and Austin. It is a book one and it is 328 pages long. I just got my notes over here, so don't mind me looking down. So this is actually a pretty small book because you want to sit there and read it all in one sitting anyway. So you just are very invested in it. The characters are very well written, so you kind of feel for them. So Austin wants a relationship and he wants the same kind of love that his grandparents have. He meets Elle, and Elle is like the nicest person out there. She's always wanting to help people, and he actually helps her put her life back together. So he helps her piece it back together. So they go through a bunch of stuff, and he actually helps her through all this stuff, and it gets good. And let's see what else. Oh, so he wants to be like the helping one to help her, and she actually wants to help people with PTSD. So that's where the military comes in, right? So I did give this one 4 out of 5. You have to go ahead and read it because if I tell you any more, then you guys find out the ending. So it was really good though, and I like that kind of thoughtfulness that she's wanting to help somebody that has trauma and that, and then somebody else is actually helping her at the same time, and then boom, you fall in love, and it's so nice. All right, go ahead and read it. Hello. So I'm doing another book review, but this one is just a regular read. This one is called The Weight of Blood, and it is actually really, really good. It is by Tiffany D. Jackson, and this is a 3 out of 5 just because I feel like it's kind of a thing that's always redone. Like, it's like Carrie. So I feel like Carrie's been always remade, redone, written about. Like, it's kind of getting a little old, but this one is different. So first off, main character is Maddie, and it is a 432 page book. But you know what? This book is exactly like Carrie. So Carrie, you remember her? She went to prom. Things happened, people died, fire, everything else, right? Well, Maddie is the main character. She is the one that is going to school, and she is faking that she is white. Her dad makes her check the news every day 3 times before she leaves for school, so then that way she knows if it's going to rain or not. If it rains, then she's not allowed to go, or they gotta stay inside and everything else. And I'm like, well, why? Why would that be? Why could you not get a what? But then the story gets into it, and one day they're in gym class, they're taking a jog or a run for school and that, so they're jogging, and it starts raining. Well, it starts going slowly, and she was like, hey, teacher, like, it's going to start raining. The teacher's like, that's fine, get out there. So Maddie goes for the jog, it starts raining, starts getting her wet, and then she gets into class, and everybody's like, mouths wide open, they're all shocked. Why are they shocked? I don't know. So Maddie is sitting in class, and her hair It is big afro, okay? From a little white girl hair, because they like get the straight iron and that. So she always had this nice little white girl, you know, still soft, very like straight, like probably really, really straight. So she had white girl hair, and all of a sudden she's in class and the big afro is popping up. So I'm having some hair problem because I went for a shower. So now it's all up in my face. But she all of a sudden has big afro, and you know, the bullies in the class start taking a pen or a pencil, I think it was a couple of pencils, and they start throwing it, and oh, look at that filter, makes my hand sparkly. So sorry, got distracted. So anyway, they start throwing pencils in her hair, and somebody actually is recording this in the classroom, so thank goodness for them. So she's crying, she left. There was like a little earthquake that happened, and some windows broke, and the teacher finally was like, hey class, would not make fun of her, like leave her alone. And this is kind of like a 2014 story, so times have changed since Carrie was here, but it's different because they're in a town that is basically racist. So the school doesn't provide the prom dances. It's like, you know, kind of like community hall or something that puts them on, kind of something like that. Okay, so imagine a community hall, the guy put on the big prom, but in this town they do whites one day and then like blacks a different day, so they don't get mixed, they don't get mingle, and yeah, it's kind of really rude, right? So Maddie is in trouble for her hair being soaked, and everyone found out that she's actually black. There's a thing that goes on to the news that somebody sent in the recording of the girls throwing pencils into Maddie's hair, and they're like, hey, look at how this black girl in class gets treated. And then it gets on the news, and they're like, what is this school going to do about it? And then the bully girls are like, hey, why don't we put on a dance together so we could have blacks and whites together, and like this town. So yeah, a lot of stuff happens in between, and then Maddie does find out that she went into her room one day, and like a picture or the tapestry, whatever it is, it falls down, and she tries to hurry up and get it before her dad comes up because he heard some noise, and she could move it by her powers. So she moves that, then she tries to move a glass of water, and then she's moving the bed. So all this is going on. So dad is like, what's going on? He just wants her to stay as like the white girl. But somewhere down the line, he had to have with someone because she is black. So he couldn't have been that racist, right? So what happened in that whole time? Anyways, well, you will have to figure that out yourself. But right now, Maddie, she goes to prom. Or does she? What happens with her powers? Does she get that boy that's like the popular black boy in school to like her? Does he go to prom with her instead of his white girlfriend? I'm like, what is happening in the story? So you're going to have to read it, but it is exactly like Carrie, but like the black version. But this one I like more because it's kind of like black against white, and then everybody trying to get together and be a team. And then there's some regular fighting back and forth, and yeah, it's just really interesting because everybody's heard of Carrie, and that one's kind of like bleh, so overused, overrun. But this one is like a new, fresh version, so I like it because it's just new, fresh. So you guys have to go ahead and read that. I did rate it a 3 out of 5 if I did not say. I got distracted by this filter because it's got like a sparkly on my nose. So, oh look, looks like I got cap on my tooth or something. Like I have to walk around like that all day. Okay, so go ahead, read that. You actually like it. I liked it. Whoa, did you see that? Oh, now it doesn't want to do it. Thanks, filter, for distracting me. It's a very distracting filter, isn't it? Okay, go ahead, read it though. You will enjoy it. I enjoyed it, and it was my new favorite Carrie. But Maddie.